One of the great facts that I learned when I was training for my yoga teacher training course with Deepak Chopra was that you cannot be in control of stress. Stress will always be manifested. It's just our interpretation of an event that happens in our lives, and we decide whether it's stressful or not. And some of the patients that I ask when I do my history taking on initial contact is, what do you do to resolve stress or neutralize stress? And then if I hear patients say, well, I don't feel stressed, that's the wrong answer. I think some of us will interpret standard events and say, that's cool with me, it doesn't bother me. And that's okay. Like my CEOs will take multiple hits all day long and say, I just got the job done, not too stressful. However, just being a CEO is stressful. Stressful to the body, stressful to the mind, stressful to sleep. That's why there's usually alcohol involved, or reflux, or poor sleep, other things, anxiety. So it's not that can you control the stress is not what I want to hear. I want to hear how you neutralize it. And if I hear that I practice meditation, or I practice yoga, or I do Tai Chi, or I do guided imagery, that's fantastic. That will usually answer in hormone form the amount of stressors that an average American goes through every day, every 8-hour working day. And again, stress doesn't have to be being robbed at gunpoint. Stress can be, for my truck drivers with Department of Transportation licensees, they have to be on the road in Chicago in the summer with traffic 8 hours a day. And if they have deadlines and they're stuck behind somebody that's driving erratically or slow, or there's traffic in downtown Chicago, the blood pressure will go up. And as relaxed as you are, you're still going to be in that milieu of anxiety-causing activities. So that is the best time to have practiced the relaxation response beforehand. It's not this that you bring it out when you're stressed out. Like my guys who have blood pressure problems, when they come into the office for a physical and the blood pressure's high, they'll usually say, I have white coat hypertension, or my blood pressure always goes up when I am in doctor's offices. And I challenge them, because if you're in a doctor's office with me, and I'm not even wearing a lab coat, and my offices are usually non-stainless steel, they're all relaxed and natural wood. If you're stressed out in that environment, I can't imagine what you'd be with waiting in line to get your food, or waiting in traffic, or not getting home on time. So, or having bills come in, on Sunday. So those are stressors as well. And if the blood pressure's high when you see me, then the blood pressure's got to be twice as high when those things occur in the individual's life. So the objective, again, is to not necessarily change around the stressors. It's to control your reaction. That's the only thing you're in control with, as far as Deepak had taught me. It's the only thing you're in control with, and practice is very important. If you hear from me, you have to start practicing or meditating it. You don't just drop into it like that. You have to develop a practice for it. Start with 5 minutes, maybe once a day, build up to twice a day. I have a YouTube account, and I've put down meditation guidelines, and actually I filmed 10 minutes of a scene, a nature scene that you can practice your breathing techniques with, and just watch. If you need to kind of lock the door, get yourself in a quiet place, and turn on the internet, you can do that just by watching what I filmed for 10 minutes, dive different scenes, and then come out of it. So sometimes just by doing that in the morning and doing that at night, the beginning of your day and the end of your day, it releases enough serotonin that the stressors of the day won't be as damaging to your heart, your brain, your blood vessels as before. And again, it's a practice, so it continues on the rest of your life, as long as you live, if you want to really reduce the problems. In this lecture, reduce the problems of hunting for food, or having the stress response come up and a cascade of hormones released after that cause inflammation. And it always happens. Even if you're not feeling stressed out or angry or grinding your teeth, you'll still have a cascade of inflammation released in the bloodstream, and that sometimes changes the way food gets broken down to glucose, gets broken down and floats around the bloodstream and gets placed into the cell. The only way that happens is with insulin. And the only way the insulin works is if the receptor on the cell is going to work properly. And a lot of us that overeat or get stressed out we get insulin resistant. That's when the cell doesn't have as many receptors, and no matter how much insulin's out there, and no matter how much sugar's out there, it won't get into the cell. You'll downregulate, you'll become a diabetic. First you'll become a pre-diabetic, and then you're on your way to full-blown diabetes within 5 to 10 years. So again, it's not the only key, but it's one of the legs of the support for the anti-inflammatory lifestyle that I like to have my patients go through.